Greetings. Hi, my name is Mira Sankofa Kwali. I'm with Ask Life Coaching Ministries. And really today, to be honest with you, I try to do blabs at the spur of the moment. I don't necessarily want to do blabs where it's like a whole bunch of people in the room a lot of times because of the fact that I would rather people to be able to go back and do my videos. And for some reason, it seems like I'm having issues with my blabs. So sometimes when a lot of people come in here, or if I try to jump in someone else's blab, it'll disconnect on me and the video doesn't show right. The audio takes a long time for me to get in. So therefore, I just like to do it at spontaneous times. That's why I do very little promotion for it. Excuse me. At any rate, what I want to really talk about today was basically healing life. I'm actually going to do a seminar in the coming year of 2016, April the 2nd. I think that's going to be on a Saturday. So April the 2nd, 2016, I will be doing a seminar here in Louisville. Where basically it's just going to be like a $50 charge. It's going to be like a whole day. So hopefully we can get some more people that may want to speak as well, not just myself. But the concept is going to be a healing life. We're going to have a few people to teach on these different concepts of a healing life, because that's what's needed in today's society. It's not just a healing life on the terms of spiritually being cleansed and spiritually being happy, because yes, that's a very huge part of it. But it also speaks on living healthy, like eating healthy, watching what we put into our bodies, our temples, our vessels, such as meals, the food, in learning. And what I'm doing is a experiment on myself. Because again, if I'm able to heal myself, I can, of course, help others to be able to heal themselves. And that is the whole point of it. This is not about selfish reasons. Although, me being a guinea pig, of course, I don't want to say guinea pig, but me being the vegetarian vegetable, I would definitely like to, of course, do it on myself first. So one of the things that I have definitely changed my diet. Myself and my king has. We began studying more of Dr. Sebi. I knew about Dr. Sebi for eons and eons of years. I've used his, of course, herbs and things like that to do different types of healings. So for me, just to share with you all, I had, when I was 19 or 20, I was 20 years old. I tied my fallopian tubes right after I had my son, literally right after I had my son. So years later, of course, I unblocked them. And by me doing that, I did experience 3 miscarriages. One miscarriage was because of the fallopian tube, the left side, the baby. It was a tubal pregnancy, of course, and the baby had got trapped on the left tube. So what they did was they removed half of the tube, and then I got pregnant again, and that was they said a chemical pregnancy. And this was year after year, okay? And then I got pregnant again and almost died from that pregnancy, the last pregnancy. The tube, of course, I lost a lot of blood. I lost 2 liters of blood. And as well, the nurse did sneak and tell me that my heart did stop doing surgery for a second. And they, of course, revived me back. It was no big deal for them, and it wasn't worthy of discussion. But also, what happened was I was in the hospital for a longer period of time because my lungs had collapsed because I had problems breathing. And of course, they didn't tell me that. I knew that something was wrong. I kept on telling them I couldn't breathe. I had a hard time breathing. I was like a shortness of breath and things like that. And they was like, no, no, no. Long story short, they put too much fluid in my lungs. Okay. So again, with that particular pregnancy that I had, the baby, the baby was almost there, like right on the, right on the way out of the fallopian tube. Long story short, you all, my ovaries on the on the left hand side burst, of course, causing me to bleed on the inside. Not only did that, but my tube, of course, erupted. So, of course, they had to do emergency surgery. I passed out of school. For a whole entire year, I was very depressed. I didn't want to look at nobody's children. I didn't want to deal with nobody's child. A lot of my friend at the time was pregnant, same time I was. We found out around the same time. I was probably a few weeks old, longer than her. She did come up to see me at the hospital. Although I was happy for her, I still felt, sad. And every time I would see, a mother who didn't comb her child's hair, or who wasn't really up to par as far as being a mother, or, misneglect of a child, or someone who was on drugs and they had children. And I was just like, why me? Why me? Why did this happen to me? I'm a good person, I do a lot for people. And I was going through this whole spiel for a whole year. I was upset. I was crying. I was depressed every day. I wouldn't leave the house. I didn't want to go anywhere. I just sat around in the house and went to school. And pretty much, so for a whole year, I just want you all to understand, for a whole year, I was depressed. I can laugh about it now, of course. And so I started going back to my roots of healing, because I've been a healer again my whole life. So, of course, I had to, started healing myself. And I just decided that I wanted to wait more so to have children. And I said that maybe at 43, because right now I'm 42. I think that was like when I was 41. So at 43, I said I would go ahead and start to try again and have more children. I know for a fact that I will have more children when I turn 43, but I just wanted a little break from trying. Although it's fun doing it, but I wanted to take a break from it. I wanted to give my body a rest. And, of course, these doctors are so negative. They talk about, you're so old, you can't have children. And I had this little young fat girl. Yeah, she was obese. She told me, I forgot, I think I was at the time, I was like 30, not 38. And she was like, well, round it out for you 40, that's kind of old. And so just keep it in mind that, number one, I feel really good. I eat healthy. I'm not old. 43, 40 something is not old. We've had children. My grandmother had children all the way up until she was like 60 some years old. Okay. So I'm just saying, so age has nothing to do with it. It's all about healing your body. It's all about healing yourself spiritually. It's all about getting in touch with yourself, keeping a clean environment, keeping your home clean, keeping your temple clean, yourself clean, keeping your mind and your spirit clean, and really just changing your diet. Maybe incorporating more herbs into your foods. And not using the hybrid seasoning, like seasoning salts, because I was good for using Laura seasoning salts. So even with me, I'm a coffee drinker. So I've cut back on coffee, and eventually I am going to eliminate coffee altogether, but I'm just not ready right now. But I have cut broccoli out of my diet. I've cut cabbage out of my diet. I've cut a lot of things. I eat a lot of greens now. And I eat a lot more fruits, way more now, because I had been a vegetarian for actually 20 something years. And so now I'm transferring myself into eventually becoming a vegan. It's of course a process, and when I'm ready all the way, it'll hit me like a lighter bolting, and I will certainly change that. But right now, I'm just kind of easing my way through it. I've always been an herbalist. I've always used herbs my whole entire life. Um, I really wasn't into the medicines that the doctors would prescribe. My family been into holistic medicines and things like that. So in trying to really seriously heal myself, um, and I feel so much better. And like during that depression period, by the way, I did gain like some weight. Oh my God, I got huge. My hips look like, the saying, like if you had just, they were like big. My butt got really big. I already had a big butt. I've had a big butt. I've had a very nice shape my whole entire life. And I still do, but it's just bigger. It's just not at a comfortable weight for me that I choose to. And I can certainly show how much weight I've gained. And I just wasn't really comfortable with my size. So it was another reason of me changing my diet, because again, I wanted to lose some weight because I didn't really feel, really comfortable. I mean, of course, it still look good. I can still rock, my clothes, but it's just my butt had gotten bigger. I got a little more of a gut for me, and my hips, of course, spread. And then, of course, my thighs, you know. So, and then, of course, my breasts got a lot bigger. So, because I've always been on the bitty titty committee, you know. I was always one of those. I always had I was small up top and I was thick at the bottom, you know. And of course, now I'm heavier. I'm still not huge, okay? But I'm heavier up top than I've been my whole life, right? And then at the bottom, of course, I'm an hourglass, a Coke bottle, as you can say, or a big hourglass. I don't know if I don't really consider myself that big, but I would consider myself big for me. So I have lost a lot of weight here recently, because of the change of my diet, because I've cut out like pastas and things like that. And the pastas that if I do eat, I eat like wild rice, and I eat I eat beans, the bonzo beans or whatever that's called, garbanzo beans. And to be honest with you, I just really incorporated greens, and I just feel I have so much more energy. Um, and I'm just able to really, really, really enjoy my life more so. I've have been happy. I have to admit to you all. I think after that year of being depressed, after then, I've just taken life by the balls. I've just done so many I've always been adventurous my whole entire life, but I've gotten more into adventures. I really began to love myself, of course, way more than I ever have. Um, and so I wanted to teach others how to do that. So, of course, I went and got my life coaching certifications, and I've gone through all of these different types of schools of healing, although I already knew how to heal. But still, of course, a lot of people was like, well, where's the degree? Where's your certification? So I went ahead and did that. And I'm constantly still learning. It's a evolution. You know, it's gonna constantly be an evolution or evolving stage in my life where I'm gonna always learn about new techniques. In fact, and like I was saying, I'm also, like I said, about the whole point also is to do a benefit, because I'm also trying to do some more research upon cancer survivors as well as women with fertility issues. Because there's so many products out there that people are using that I have used. I've used almost every product on the market, and it did help me to get pregnant. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, but it not just get pregnant, but have a healthy pregnancy. Okay. And it wasn't my age that made me have the miscarriage. It was it was the mistake that I did at the age of was it 19 or 20 when I got my tubes tied. That was really the issue. It wasn't my age. So it was just a long road. And I felt really depressed and just going through that. And I definitely want to share it with my sisters and let them know, you know, we have the ability to not, not just about fertility, but even about cancer and all these different ailments. We listen to these doctors and they're so negative. They sentence us a life sentence because, of course, the health industry is the biggest paying industry there is, next to the prison complex, industrial complex. Okay, so of course, they're one and the same. So, of course, they give you death sentences. They tell you you're too old. They tell you that you're unhealthy, that, you need to do this. You need to put meat in your diet, and you shouldn't have to eat meat. I remember a long time ago when I was growing up, the doctor told my mother that I didn't need milk. He said that Black people or Africans, he said we didn't really need cow's milk. That's why we always would it would always burn my stomach or mess my stomach. It was like acid. It was like putting acid into my stomach alone. Okay. So again, these doctors, all they want to do is cut, dice. And I definitely want to be one of the ones. Of course, Dr. Sabi is a mentor of mine as well. And a lot of these D Health Store is pretty good too, with his herbs. And I've used some of his herbs, but I definitely want to be one of the ones that help people to be able to heal themselves. So I've been doing so much research. And also I am a crystal healer. So I've been doing so much and an herbalist. So I've been doing a lot of research and just trying to mend all of these different things together, even to the point where I plan to travel outside of abroad, outside of the United States, of course. And I would like to go to places like China to see what they have there and talk to some really, really good herbalists. And I would like to go to Africa, different parts of Africa. So, of course, I definitely would need financial stability in order to do that, finances to do that. So I'm certainly am raising funds in order to do that, and I will be doing a Go Refund Me in regards to that. But I do really, 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 I think it's so important. These are two issues. I mean, we have so many issues within our community, don't get me wrong, but for me, and what's some of the things that are taking us out of here is cancer. Cancer is one of the biggest things that's taking us out of here. I know HIV, but of course, Dr. Sabi, does cure HIV and AIDS and things. But for my passion is cancer and women with fertility issues, is women's health, as well as men, because our men have fertility issues as well. So I definitely want to tackle these things and tackle these issues and work with many of different type of healers and just creating a product or creating something that we can use. Not just, yes, the herbs, of course, and combining the right type of herbs during the right type of time and coming together and helping our people heal, because that is so important. And it's a very deep passion for me because so many of us are suffering from cancer. And listening to these doctors, I've noticed, are taking us out of here. They are taking us out of here. This chemo, my daughter, how I know about it, because my daughter, that's another, the reason why it's a passion for me as far as cancer is concerned, because when my daughter, here I'm a teenage mother, okay? I had my daughter when I was 16 years old. And y'all know she smokes, right? That's so crazy to me, but that's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that later, okay? But anyway, so when she was like 3, she was diagnosed with pancreatic blastoma. And imagine, I just had my baby. I just had a second child at that time. I was 19 when she was diagnosed with. I just had my son. So here I barely could spend time with my son. I had to, I was trying to breastfeed and still go to the hospital, spend a night in the hospital with her. They gave her chemo for 6 months. I watched all her hair come out. She was really sick. It was just so hard. It wasn't just hard on myself because I'm just saying being a mother and me feeling helpless, but it was hard on this 3-year-old, you know? She was going through so much that I just couldn't really help her. And so that's when I really started getting into the herbs and started really reading up on them and ensuring and giving her certain types of foods. That's when I actually again became a vegetarian during that time. And then I started making her into a vegetarian. I wouldn't allow her to eat pork or anything like that. So I was gradually becoming a vegetarian during that time. Um, and I'm telling you, it really helped her. And then when I took her back after that 6 months, they found no cancer in her system. And I'm telling you that, you know, her diet, that dietary help, that those chemos, though, because chemos are experimentations. I'm telling you, because they was like, well, this level of chemo, because it was making her sick. Now for the rest of her life, they said she's going to have a small heart murmur because of the chemo that she got, and then she can't hear high pitched noises. Okay. So it's certain things that did, you know, happen to her due to the chemo. The chemo does a lot more harm than it does good. So we have to really discover how to really heal our people. And that's what I'm working on right now. You know, that's one of the reasons why I've been very, very busy. I still have a book that will be coming out very soon. It will be released. However, I have a couple of publishers that's trying to get my book from me, but I don't think I want to be that kind of a slave. I think I want to really release my own book. I have somebody that wants to do the branding, wants to create this brand for me. And yes, I get the whole theory of branding. However, well, you know, I'm my own person and I don't want a machine telling me do this and do that. You know what I mean? I do it my damn self. I don't need you telling me what to do. Yeah, but at any rate, I definitely just have so much that I'm working on this coming year, on top of getting my doctorate. But all of this will be in vain if I'm unable to do what I need to do, such as traveling around the world so I can find, and the two places in my mind will be a continent, an area, a city in Africa, so I can find some type of a particular herb that I'm looking for. And also China. Those are the two continents that's in my mind as of right now, and that people that I can certainly talk with and meet and find something and do some vast studies. So I definitely do need donations in order to do that. But with that said, I do have this conference coming up again, April the 2nd, 2016 in Louisville. It's $50 in advance. It's going to be a whole day, fun filled, hopefully, full of healers, other healers beside myself, because it's giving them also a great platform, or motivational speakers, of being able to come together and let's bridging and making a difference in our world today, because we really need that. With all of this police brutality, with all of these lynchings that we're experiencing within our community, with the cancerous poisons that we are injecting in our bodies and in the air, all these different things that's going on, we certainly need healers. And these elections do not go for it. It's some bullshit. I'm just going to tell you, this whole Donald Trump, I don't even want to acknowledge whoever this person is. Okay. So all this stuff is a smokescreen for the real issues, because none of these politicians are going to save us. You see, Obama did not save us. The shit is not working. So we need a whole nother system. This system that they have now is not working. But I know I said I wasn't going to really get into the whole tricks of things, but I had to mention it. I have to be honest with you. The smoke screen, the thing is for our people is healing on a spiritual, mental, health, dietary, all of that. exercising, getting out more, meeting people, changing the ozone area, uh, changing the system, changing everything, and our system also being our bodies is what we really, really need. If we do not do that, then we're going to be wiped off the planet Earth. So right now, these are my focuses, and of course, to reach me, www.ask314life.com, or you can also call me on, that's my, of course, my website, or you can reach me at 502-208-9142, and as well as my Facebook. I'm Amira Sankofa Kwali. That is spelled that's spelled AMIRAH. Sankofa, SANKOFA, Kwali, KWELI. You can reach me on my Facebook, or you can go to my other Facebook. I have so many. Amira Kwali, that is AMIRAH, Kwali, KWELI. So we really have to get cleared. We have to really clean our systems and bodies, and even fasting certainly helps. I haven't fasted in about 2 weeks. I'm usually on it, but I've been kind of hungry lately. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna have to do a sometime this week, maybe 2 days or 3 days this week. So fasting is also an element of inducing as well, and also running up and down the steps is a great way of exercise if you don't have a home gym. Walking, going for walks. I know it's kind of chilly outside in some people's areas, unless you, of course, is on the West Coast and you're warm or in tropical areas. But for us, we're doing indoors. Well, lately it's been really feeling good. So another way of healing certainly is happiness, smiling, laughing, watching some happy videos, laughing. I mean, laughing is definitely a healing spirit, I'm telling you, and just being happy. So that's pretty much it. Again, this wasn't really going to be a long video. I was just doing something a little just in effort to promote my recent adventures. So I definitely would like you all to attend. And if you want to certainly become a vendor for that event, definitely let me know. There's going to be a small little charge, but you're definitely welcome. Also, we have what I didn't mention as well is that we're going to have other guest speakers there. And if you want to become a guest speaker, let me know. We can certainly work that out. But thank you so much, and you have a lovely evening. It's actually 3:21 a.m. in Louisville time, and we're on East Coast time. So thank you so much for tuning in to my videos, and of course subscribe to me on YouTube. Thank you.